Now, we covered this yesterday, how Mr. Jack Black laughed as his friend and bandmate made a birthday wish saying that don't miss Trump next time. And the question is like, why would anyone do something like this? Like, why would an entertainer be this divisive and also be this cruel? And the answer to this is that if you were a celebrity up until now, you could have said absolutely anything as long as it shows support to the Democrats. You could insult your customers, you could insult the public, you could say the most vile, reprehensible things as long as it shows support to the left. So one of the worst things that I have seen was Kathy Griffin, which had the prop of the decapitated head of Donald Trump. And the interesting thing is, like, that was considered at the time to actually be too far. So she did get canceled, but only for a little while, because then they brought her back. But other than that, which, again, like, I would say it was the worst and the most vile example, a picture so deranged that even YouTube would censor it if I was to show it here. But other than that, you had actors asking for the assassination of the US president for quite a couple of years. I mean, Johnny Depp is on camera saying that when's the last time a US president got assassinated. You have rap music videos with Trump getting shot. Like, this has happened for so many years. Like, if you were on the left, there were no terms of service. There was no Trust and Safety Council. Meanwhile, for the rest of us normal folks, if you even said like some mild criticism towards a politician or an actor, you could get in trouble. You would get banned from social media. You would get deplatformed. And because of that, right-wing people kind of learned how to talk. They kind of learned how to behave, not necessarily out of conviction, but out of necessity. So now when you look at the left and you see how far gone they are, and they seem to be stuck in, I guess, like the 2014 era, where being edgy was considered cool, and there were no trust and safety councils, they look unhinged by comparison. So basically, when you have the Tenacious D going around and asking for the Donald Trump to get assassinated, he noticed that, well, actually the overtone window has shifted. Actually, people have realized, hold on a little bit, like, you're doing stochastic terrorism here. Which is basically the concept that if you push a message of hatred long enough to a big audience, constantly, for years, then it is predictable that at one point you will get some lone wolves that do crazy shit. You can't predict how an individual will react, because, like, you can take a normal person and you can feed whatever message of hatred you want for, like, as long as prolonged period of time, and they may not do anything. But when you take hundreds of millions of people and you bombard them with messages that Trump is worse than Hitler, then it is very likely that not only will they get emotional, and some of them will even get violent and riot, but you will also get, like, individuals that are completely deranged. And the public has finally noticed that, and the public are finally holding the celebrities accountable, to the point where the celebrities are bewildered. It's like, well, why are people reacting like this? So it wasn't just that people were abhorred by the video, but it's also that, as you can see here, a senator from Australia is asking for the deportation of Tenacious D, saying that Tenacious D should be immediately removed from the country after wishing for the assassination of Donald Trump at their Sydney concert. Senator Ralph Babbitt said today that Tenacious D member Kyle Goss, making a birthday wish, told the concert that he hoped the next person to shoot at Trump won't miss. I condemn in the strongest possible way to call for political violence by Tenacious D in Sydney. To advocate and to wish for the assassination of a president is egregious, disgusting, filthy, evil, and not acceptable in any way, shape, or form. This was not a joke. He was deadly serious when he wished for the death of the president. I call on the Prime Minister to join me in denouncing Tenacious D and BAM member, and I call on the Immigration Minister to revoke their visas and deport them immediately. Anything less than deportation is an endorsement on the shooting attempt that happened on the 45th and soon-to-be 47th President of the United States. Australia wrongly locked up Novak Djokovic and deported him because he allegedly undermined the public trust in vaccination. Allowing Tenacious D to remain in Australia after calling for the death of a president is unthinkable, and it affirms the weakness of our current Prime Minister. Okay, so he's not going to get deported because I think he has canceled all of his events, issued a public apology in which is basically saying, oh, well, I just didn't know what I was thinking. I'm not a hateful person. I do not want political violence. All right. So now there are two schools of thought. The first school of thought is that he is genuinely sorry and is canceling the events, which is something you can believe if you want. The other school of thought, which I am also part of, and this is my opinion, understanding how scheduling these type of events work, I think what happens is that the events were canceling on him. And the reason for this is that most events have insurance. Like, you have to have insurance. And it's very expensive. Like, if you're wondering why these concerts cost so much, a big reason for it is the insurance. And the insurance companies, they care who is coming there so that they can know what type of security to have, the type of crowd that they bring, because, you know, not everyone is the same. Like, if you have a violin player, it's going to be one type of crowd. And if you have a hip-hop artist, it's going to be a different type of crowd. Maybe this is racismus, but the insurance companies don't give a fuck. They have stats, they have charts, and they also assess the danger, right? So, like, the bigger the crowd, the type of crowd that you have matters. Now, when you have someone like Tenacious D being this controversial, it is not implausible that many of these venues were getting emails, they were getting phone calls, they were getting harassment, and they were getting people being really agitated more than usual, to the point where the insurance companies went like, well, the price for security is going up. So these venues were probably going like, okay, well, if that's the case, we gotta cancel. And I assume that a lot of them canceled, and with this coming from one of the senators and the added controversy and everything else, he decided to stop doing the event. I don't know if the band is going to break up over this. Probably not. Because, again, I don't think like this is something that's coming from the heart. I don't think that a person like this could have already said, you know what, like, maybe this is too much. Like, this is too far. No, like, most celebrities only care about money and their social status with other celebrities. They do not care what the peasant thinks, right? Like, they do not care about your opinion. They do not care about their fans. Oh, the only thing they care about, like, how am I viewed in my social circles? And when you take pictures with Joe Biden, you kind of know what his social circle is. So I don't think, like, the statement in itself is bothering him, but I do think that venues canceling and making him have to reconsider is the problem. And as long as he doesn't just dial down the controversy and like lose some of the heat that's on him right now, he can't perform. So he lost probably a lot of money with this, and we'll see in the future if the band is still going to be together or if they had some major disagreements and they had to break up. But we're not going to see him deported. That's for sure, because he is living himself. So let me know what you guys think, and as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.